Right, so here's the deal. I'm going to tell you a little story about why the moon landing needed to be faked and where the fake moon landing comes from. And it starts this guy named Van Allen. Yeah, that's right. You know him. You've heard his name. Heard about these radiation belts. You see, there was a space race going on. People were talking about going into space, and whoever won this Cold War type thing. Russia was in on it. We were in on it. People were in on it. So the U.S. got this guy, Van Allen. They said, look, we need you to come up with a reason why we cannot go to the moon. Because that's the next step. It's harder to fake. So Van Allen said, all right, I'll come up with something. A little while later, he gets this idea. He's like, okay, tell you what. You've been talking about the sun and magnetics and these poles that we have and charged particles and stuff in space. What if there was this there were these deadly radiation belts around the earth? You try to fly through these things and you die. So there you go. And he does all this fake math for it. He gets it all laid out and then bam, we can't go to the moon. It's impossible. Well, Russia starts sending their astronauts anyway to the moon or towards the moon into space. They got to comply somewhat with this idea that there are these radiation belts. So they kill a few people. But then they say, you know what? We're going to get somebody to come up with the solution to how we're going to get to the moon. So NASA, in response, now has to fake a moon landing. So now they've got this story, this cover story from Van Allen about these radiation belts, say that we can't do it. So they go back to Van Allen, say, listen, Van, we got to strike some of this from the record. We got to eliminate some of this evidence of your research, and we need you to come up with a reason because we're just going to fake the moon landing. We're just going to do it. If we don't do it, Russia's going to do it. We need you to come up with reasons or ways that we can actually pass through the radiation belt. Van Allen's fine. I did a lot of research on this. I'll come up with something. So he comes up with something, and NASA does their whole moon thing. It's crazy, right? Except that's why we remember it. Because it happened. We remember Van Allen talking about how we are not able to do it, that would kill the astronauts. That would be impossible to go to the moon. But today you can't find that information because it was stricken from the record. It was deleted, it was taken away. But not from everybody. There are people out there that have gotten copies of this back when it first came out. There are people that remember it, and there are people that continue to tell the story. So, why do they need to do this? Well, because we live on a flat earth, under a dome. You can't go into space. So if you want to win a fake war, you come up with a fake solution. Simple as that. Now, I'm not going to say flat earth confirmed, because this isn't about the flat earth. This is about the moon landing being faked because we live on a flat earth. Think, people. Think.